Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to be talking about schools react to COVID-19, some of the challenges and some of the expectations for teachers and students during this time. Also, some of the takeaways and the aftermath of COVID-19. I do want to say that I'm not teaching at this time. I was subbing before COVID-19. So I'm currently not teaching. So everything in this slideshow is kind of my opinion of the challenges and aftermath and takeaways. However, I do have a brother who's a senior in high school, so I have been asking him questions and I have been in contact with my master teacher from Foothill Knolls STEM Academy of Innovation. Um, she's a third grade teacher, so I have been talking to her. I've been talking to other teachers, so I kind of have an idea. So this is really just my opinion on COVID-19 in schools. So for starters, on March 13th, 2020, schools began closing due to COVID-19. The students and teachers began making the transition to online learning. Some of the challenges with this are teachers making sure students are engaged. So whether the teachers post the lesson and have the students complete the lesson on their own time or do a Zoom lesson with the students, it's really hard to make sure all the students are engaged in online learning. Another thing that can happen is that teachers are not able to monitor the students working in real time. If they do post and have the students watch on their own time, or if they are doing a Zoom lesson, it's not easy to make sure every student understands during online learning. Another challenge is that the teachers cannot answer questions or assist students in real time. Although if they are on Zoom, the students can ask their question, but with everything that they have to teach their students, it's impossible to make sure that every student is up to date and that they're supporting every student in real time. And the last challenge, or one of the last challenges, is making sure that students have enough support. So if the teacher does post a lesson and activities and then have the students do it on their own time, then the teacher needs to really make sure that every student, every neurodiverse learner has enough support and supporting materials to complete the lesson and complete the activities since they won't be there in real time to assist them. So since I am an ed tech student, some advice I would give my colleagues during this time is to keep everything simple. If something is challenging, or like the directions are challenging, or an assignment is challenging, or getting to an assignment is challenging, or getting to a lesson is challenging, the students and parents are going to be so frustrated that they're not even going to try to complete the assignment. So, in my opinion, I think that they should keep everything simple. So, directions, assignments, information, where everything is, they should make it very simple and easy for students and parents to understand so the parents can assist the student if needed. Also, I think that they should keep everything on one platform. So Google Classroom would be a great platform because you can upload assignments, you can upload tests, you can upload um, links. You can have it all in one place for students and parents to easily follow and easily go through the lessons and assignments when they have time and at their own pace, but it's all there for the students and the parents. They don't have to go to 5 different sites or platforms to get an assignment done. So Google Classroom is a great place to do so. Expectations. So again, I'm not teaching, but this is just what I've learned from talking to my master teacher, my brother, and other teachers during this time, and other parents with students in the K through 12 school at this time. So the expectation for students is to complete all the work and lessons, but whatever grade they get on the lessons will not hurt them, but it can increase their percentage. So my brother, for example, if he's getting a bad grade in a class, he can complete assignments to increase his grade, but if he doesn't complete the assignment, it will not hurt his grade. And if he does complete it but gets a bad grade on the assignment, it will not hurt his grade as well. The grade can only improve, it cannot go down. Some expectations for teachers is to provide a safe place for students to learn and to support students, not only academically, but emotionally as well. So online teaching is so hard for everyone, I think, because there are so many neurodiverse learners and so many different types of learners in the classroom that it's hard to make just one assignment for everyone. So not only do teachers have to take that into account when making their assignments and support their students academically, but they also need to be there to emotionally support their students right now. This was such a fast thing that happened, going literally overnight to online learning. The students need some social and emotional learning support, and that is an expectation for teachers to be able to give them. And I'm sure a lot of teachers are so willing because they understand how crazy of a time this is and they do want to be there for their students. But I think it's just important to remember that this time is so crazy for everyone, but students also are feeling it. So teachers should be there emotionally for their students as well. Teachers also need to provide materials to learn at home. So this includes lessons, links, articles, any type of material that would really help their students, because like I've said before, there are so many different types of learners in the classroom. The teacher needs to provide materials for all learners to learn at home the same lesson, and they also need to be available for any questions or concerns. So I know I'm in the master's course, but my teachers have actually given a time where you can just hop on a WebEx meeting with them. You don't have to tell them, you could just hop on and you can talk to them, whether it's about academics or emotional support. They're there for you, and I like that, and I think other teachers should do that as well. So exams. Obviously, COVID-19 impacted exams, so the tests are not going to be reliable. The fitness tests, there's no way to really administer them correctly, so they're not going to be reliable or accurate. That also goes with AP and standardized tests, but the other thing to think about with those tests are that the students were not taught all the information in the classroom. So they were probably taught about 60% of the information that they need for those tests, and online learning or distance learning is so new and everyone's doing it differently. There's really no way to make sure all the students were taught all the information they needed for those tests. So that makes it hard as well. So although I don't know what they're doing about the test as of now, I do know that they're not going to be reliable or accurate. The takeaways that I got from this whole COVID-19 situation are that teachers should always expect the unexpected. Teachers, it was a crazy, crazy time, but teachers literally had to go from distance learning or from learning in the classroom to distance learning overnight. They probably didn't have all their assignments uploaded online. They had to learn how to use different platforms. And so I think that it's important to use technology in the classroom regularly throughout the year, just in case anything like this was to happen again. Students, parents, and the teacher are used to the online platforms, and that really helps them if something like this happened again. Another takeaway is to always support your students, which I think it's important anyways, but even after this, it's very important to see how students need you more than ever for emotional support, and that it's just important to be there with them. The last thing is to just do your best. Obviously, this is something that's totally new for everyone. It's never happened before. So all teachers can do at this time is do their best. And just be there for their students is really the most important thing. The aftermath. So obviously we're still in COVID-19, social distancing, social learning, or so we don't really know the aftermath, but these are just some ideas that I have. Students will be behind most likely next year. It's impossible to know how behind they will be, but I feel like it's inevitable. You took them out of the classroom, you are having them being homeschooled, but there's parents who are working still and don't have time to give their students all the time that a teacher would in the classroom. So students will be behind. Um, I think that again, teachers can just do their best and try to accommodate them the best that they can. But as of now, the schools are actually talking about opening in July. I have seen that they're also talking about August, which would make sense, but July, in my opinion, is just too early. The students would not be able to handle that long of a school year, in my opinion. And I'm thinking elementary school because that is where I'm trying to teach. So I am in a third grade fieldwork classroom. But I think that July for students is just too early. And also, if COVID is still going around at that time, germs are easily carried in the classroom. There's no way to avoid them. Sometimes students are a little gross, but July is just too early to open, in my opinion. And finally, it has never happened before, so we don't have an example to go off of. We don't know when school should open. We don't know how behind students will be. We don't know how social distance learning is going to go. So all we can do is do our best and try to accommodate our students and be there for our students. So that is my presentation on COVID-19 in the schools. Thank you for watching.